Are you tired of the same old school real estate lead generation tactics? Then you've come to the right show. Welcome to Open House, Open Mind, the podcast. I'm your host, Michelle, and this is not your average real estate podcast. I'm here to challenge the industry standards. You won't find pushy, salesy bro tactics here. There's a better way to do business without that icky feeling, so that buyers and sellers are coming to you instead of you chasing them. So if you're ready to challenge those traditional standards with me, to fill your database, to learn mindset hacks that challenge your own limiting beliefs, and to take actionable steps to improve your open house experience, then stick around. Let's get you some consistent income in the business you worked so hard to get licensed in. And let's have some fun while we're at it. Welcome to today's episode. Today I wanted to talk about a play on words so that you can kind of shift your perspective when it comes to like the industry standards, the norms, the words that the industry uses that are common but may not feel good to you. So today I'm recording this. It's Easter Sunday. It's Sunday morning, and it's also my birthday. And this idea came to me because it's really easy to get caught up into a certain way of thinking. But if you're aware of it, it's really easy to shift that perspective. So a lot of people were saying, oh man, your birthday falls on Easter. I'm like, yeah, sometimes it does, today it does. And they're like, well, that's, oh, that kind of sucks. Well, it can if I think that way, right? Or it could be like, oh no, it's a fun way to combine it, and it's just a different way of looking at it, right? But when we are young and we are taught a certain way of doing things, it's kind of hard sometimes to shift that way of thinking. And, that's where limiting beliefs come in, right? But today I wanted to talk about just a few ways you can change things up so that you're not like frustrated or not procrastinating in your business. So for example, in real estate, we use the word prospecting, right? So in any sales job, you have to go out and find leads. So prospecting is a way to go out and find leads, right? To move your business forward, to gain transactions. But for me, that word prospecting never felt good to me. Even just saying prospecting is like, oh, I don't know. It just makes me like cringe. I don't know why, even though I knew, well, that's the way to move my business forward. And when this whole thing came to me, I was like, well, I don't have to use that word. If it doesn't feel good to me, why do I have to use it? Just because that's what everybody else uses. So instead, I love the word marketing. I am replacing that word now with marketing. I only use prospecting if I'm talking to, a potential audience that I want to talk to in the real estate field, and they know that word. But then once you come into my world, I replace it with marketing. Marketing sounds fun. I mean, think about I'm a huge rom-com movie watcher, and it just seems to me in all those movies, the main character always works in a really cool marketing job, and it just seems fun, right? So it's like something that I decided to replace, and it makes me want to do it. So basically I'm like, okay, what type of marketing can I do this week to find some clients? I love that. It makes me move forward. So I invite you guys to try that out. If you're like, oh, I don't want to use the word prospecting, or like, oh, I have to prospect this week. Instead, try to say, I'm going to market this week. What can I do? And it's just a lot more fun. So try that one out. Another example is, and this one gets a lot of my peers when I say this. We tend to get into some debates, and it's salesperson. So I came into this business really green, not knowing anything to do with sales. I had I didn't even realize that I was considered a salesperson. And they're like, yeah, you're in sales. And that didn't sit well with me. I didn't like it at all. I didn't feel like a salesperson. And then I think because we relate a salesperson to these, pushy tactics, these salesy tactics that don't feel good, that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to call myself a salesperson. But for years, I started taking classes. I started learning ways to be a better salesperson and sales 101 and doing these like techniques to, and I think you guys probably know, if you've been in the industry for a while, you know what I'm talking about, but techniques to be better at sales, such as getting somebody to say yes so many times in a row, or using kind of some of these NLP tactics. And I took all these courses and all these trainings, and it just did not sit well with me. I didn't like it. I mean, hence that's why I created my open house mastery program or method, which is non-salesy at all. But I just really struggled with wanting to call myself that. So then I just decided, you know what, I don't have to call myself that. And the debate I had with somebody else, like another colleague in the field, in the real estate industry, and she was like, you just have to learn to love sales, and you have to learn to be a salesperson. And I was like, well, if I don't consider myself a salesperson, I don't have to love that, right? I can love it in a different way. And so what I call myself is a service provider. If I'm providing service to somebody, then they're more likely to want to work with me. So honestly, you guys, I don't call myself a salesperson. I never have, and I never will. And I still have people wanting to work with me, and I still have transactions. So I really invite you to look at that too. It makes me feel better, and it might make you feel better in thinking of it that way. And then the last example I have for you guys is this one. This one is recent because honestly, it's the ups and downs of this next concept, and it took me a while. So what I'm talking about is failure. And when we're going to school, right, we do not want to fail, right? So we spend all of those years, I mean, think about it, like first grade to 12th grade, like how many years is it drilled into our head that it's not okay to get Fs, right? It is not okay to get Fs. It's not okay with your teachers. It's not okay with your family. And what's an F? An F is a failure. And so that's drilled into us. And then you come into the entrepreneurial world, you start your own business. And as an entrepreneur, you start to learn all of these like self-development, all these self-development ways, right? And everyone starts reading all the books. So, I started with Think and Grow Rich, and I think that's probably the foundation of everybody's entrepreneurial journey. And then you just go from there, and then people just start talking about how in order to be successful, you need to fail, right? So that was like a huge mindset shift that I had to make. I mean, that was like, whoa, wait, what? Someone once said to me, fail forward. And it wasn't till like later on in life, because I got my real estate license, I think when I was, 40. And that was the first time I heard that. And I was like, whoa. So I had to like train my mind to, to uncover that and be like, whoa, wait a minute. No, it was never okay for me to fail. I spent not only from first grade to 12th grade learning it wasn't okay to fail, then another 8 years in college, 'cause yes, it took me 8 years to graduate college. And, I could not fail there either. So it was really, really hard for me to like grasp that concept. And I'm looking right now in the dictionary, and failure. Okay, failure in the dictionary says lack of success. It says non-success, defeat, frustration, collapse, misfiring, fizzling out, a debacle, a catastrophe. So, I mean, of course, we don't want to fail. Like, look at that definition. We do not want to fail. So then when I get into this entrepreneurial world and everyone's saying like, well, the most successful people in life, that's how they succeeded, is through failure. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, you know? And they always give the examples like Edison, how many times did he fail, right? Sorry, that's my dog in the background. And all of these examples, like the Wright brothers and the plane, and it's like, wow, this really, really makes sense. And then this is like kind of the twist. You guys, I like when I would start talking about this and saying like it's okay to fail and failure is, you know, part of life, and which it is. That one word though, failure, it still didn't sit right with me. Like when I tell people like go out, you know, when I coach people, and one of the examples they give or like the exercises is go out and fail as many times as you can. Even like the concept I know is right and the concept makes sense. Saying like failure, it's still like subconsciously doesn't sit right. So I thought, well, what else? How can I reframe that? How can I reframe that in a way I did with prospecting versus marketing, right? Or sales versus service. How can I reframe this? And so now instead of saying like fail, you know, go out and fail as many times, go out and try some like lessons. What are some lessons learned? You know, I don't use the word failure anymore. I say it's okay to have a setback. I kind of like the word setback better, but you find whatever word feels better for you. If failure doesn't feel good for you, don't use it. If it does, use it. So basically what I'm saying is you can feel this feeling in your gut and you can tell that you don't like using it or you don't like that, and it makes you stop doing something. So if that feeling doesn't feel good to you, change that word to something else that does. So I'll say like setbacks, right? I had a few setbacks today, but what are the setbacks? You know, the setbacks are lessons. They're lessons learned. They're opportunities to gather more information. So what kind of setbacks did you have today? How many setbacks did you have today? I like using that one. It's way much better than failure. And it makes me have compassion for myself. And that compassion helps me to want to move forward. It wants me to gather more information and go, okay, what could I have done better? And that just feels so much better. So I invite you guys to try it. Let me know if there's certain things that you guys are shifting. I would love to hear some feedback from you all. So you're not going to be hearing this on Easter, but I'm going to tell you anyways, happy Easter to those who celebrate Easter. Have a beautiful day. For those of you who want to take this work deeper and master the art of hosting open houses in order to attract buyers and sellers, then you're going to want to join me inside Open House Mastery. This is a self-paced online course with a live component that will take you through every step you need, from finding open houses to host, to what to say when visitors come in, to converting leads to clients. Together, we're going to get clear on how to confidently land clients, not just leads. On top of all that, when you join Open House Mastery, you get access to my bonus follow-up system, plus my fun buyer manifesting exercise, where I teach you how to coach your buyer clients on manifesting their dream home. Also, you get to join my student-only community, where you get coaching from me once a month, where we master the non-salesy script together. So if you're ready to build a strong foundation in your real estate career and make more money this year, then join Open House Mastery. Link is in the show notes, but get in quick. You won't want to miss this month's live coaching. See you there.